our dating panel. Like, we had an awesome time last time. I'm so excited. We learned a lot. I learned a whole lot. The dating game has changed in the last 17 years, and I am so grateful that I am not in it right now. But I don't mean that in a bad way, because I feel like single people really need to have a voice. I think they need to speak, because I think a lot of times married people are speaking for single people. And I don't necessarily think that that's the right way to go. I think we need to hear from them. I think we need to know their perspective. I think that we need to know answers from them, because you know what? Singlehood is not punishment. Okay, if we had a post, I would say read that again, but I'm gonna repeat that one more time. Being single is not punishment. It's just where they are right now. And if you ask any married person, being married is not punishment. Sometimes people feel like they're trapped in marriage. So, hey, look, we got to change our perspective. We got to see things from a different point of view. People's status and condition in life, it's not a death sentence. It's not a prison sentence. People just happen to be where they are. They're on their journey. And it's none of my business what that looks like. And it's not up for me to label whether it's good or bad. All it is for me to be supportive, love them, hear from them, and if I can help in any kind of way, be there for them. All right. So this is where we are. I'm going to introduce our panel again. We've got Lee, we've got Cece, we've got Shawnee, we've got Dallas. So Dallas, tell us about yourself.
Yes, ma'am. And thank you for having me. It's an honor to be on here. It's an honor to even be thought of. So thank you for that. And I'm Dallas. I play drums occasionally. I work at the media duplication department at Rhema Bible Church. I'm a huge Lakers fan, as you can see. Rip Kobe, momentarily. Hey, I appreciate the support. And I am, one of my biggest mottos is growth. So I want to thank you for this because I want to grow from each one of you. And I'm doing this project called The Shed. And it's similar to this, but we talk about other things. But this is super dope. So hit me up on IG or all social media platforms.
Shawnee.
What's up? I'm Shawnee. I love to write and have my own blog. And I love to occasionally sing. Don't have the best of voice, but that's okay.
Make a joyful noise, right? Lee.
Hi, everybody. Once again, thank you, Ms. Adrian, for having this panel. My name is Lee Scott. I'm a Jackson, Mississippi native. Jacktown, Jack City. Let's go. I work for TTCU Federal Credit Union here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I currently live in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I have a blog and podcast called Leading with Lee. It is on YouTube and all podcasting platforms where I talk about life and leadership. And I consider this a great opportunity to talk about relationships, which I think is essential for everyone's growth and everyone's development. And I didn't say this earlier, but I do also play drums, Dallas. And I sing. I'm on the worship team at Transformation Church. So I'm honored to be here, and thank you.
CC, not least. You are last, but not the least.
Tell us. Amen. My name is CC, and I'm also from the Jackson, Mississippi, North Side. What to do? And I am here. I'm a Rhema School of World Mission student here at Rhema Bible Training College. I'm also a daycare teacher to my lovely 1-year-olds at the Rhema Child Development Center here. And it's been really good. I love these sessions. Thank you so much for pushing me to do this, because this is out of my comfort zone. So thank you.
Look, I'm so glad to have you guys on here. like I said, I've been married for a long time, but I really feel like single people need a voice. And also, I love it when other people are doing stuff. Like I don't have a problem with all of y'all having vlogs and being on different platforms and stuff like. I think that's amazing. Like whatever I can do to help, that's me. That's what I want to do. So thank you guys for being on here and helping me and just having this conversation. So last time we talked about what it means to date in 2020, and we found out a whole lot of stuff. Nowadays, dating is about clout. It's about IG likes, and I don't even know if Facebook is a thing. I don't know. It's a lot. We talked about worst experiences in dating. I even exposed some of my own. And then we talked about what it means to look inside, develop your personal value, and then be ready to go out into a relationship. So let's jump back in and talk about your best experience in relationships. Let me hear from you, Lee.
Well, you might see this later. I don't know.
I'm sure she will.
I think I'm experiencing my best experience now, and I think a byproduct of it is something we talked about earlier was self care. Like one of the things that I did from the last relationship up to now is I got in therapy. I got in a men's group. I allowed some of my friends to be in certain aspects of my life to really help me walk through some stuff and really help me take the responsibility off of whoever the next person I was going to date. And it has helped me in my current relationship. My girlfriend's amazing, amazing woman. And I love Brie. But she, like, one of the things that I am experiencing is somebody that really loves me for me. And no matter what happens with our relationship, I realize that it's not because I can do anything for her. She values my person more than anything else. And that has been so helpful for me in our relationship because it's taught me how to really, really, first of all, keep my eyes on Jesus, because that's, a given. But the second piece is I can't value her if I don't value myself. So it starts with self value and that growth in that. And so I'm experiencing my best relationship. That's why we're still in a relationship. I thought she'd be tired of me and sick of me now, but it's one step at a time, literally. Like Dallas said in the first episode, like it is a journey, and we're learning that the relationship is a journey, and we have to go on a journey together, being willing to learn and grow together. So I'm shedding that.
So Dallas, you're in a relationship too right now, aren't you? Can you tell me a little bit about that? Is this the best thing that you've had so far?
Yeah, and Lee took my whole line again. So you need to quit putting me behind Lee. It looks like I'm copying this, brother. No, it's all good. It's all good. I see how it is, just because it is. But he's super wise, so at least it gives me confidence. But no, this is the best thing I'm in right now. I think one of the biggest things that made this so good is that I took care of myself. I know that she doesn't control my happiness. Well, she does in a sense, but if anything goes south, I have God, and I don't want to over spiritualize it, but we have to sometimes. But it's like no matter what, I'm up here. I found out she cheated on me, I'm still up here. I mean, it might suck in the natural, but in the supernatural, I'm fine. And I think it's because she's so willing to listen. And so, yeah, shout out to Maggie, but she is so like patient, and like arguments aren't like just to win a battle. It's actually to learn and understand why like each one of us approached it a certain way. And it's been a journey about learning about each other, and not really just doing it for clout, not really just doing it so we can take pictures in our outfits, or we can both rock Jordan 1s, or corny stuff like that. Not hating on people who do that, because the Lord is sending us some Travis Scott 1s. Hey, we're taking up an offering after this, aren't we? We're taking up an offering. But no, honestly, it's just because I took care of myself, and I'm at a place now where I know whatever happens, God's in control. So that's it.
Go ahead, Lee.
I wanted to add to his point real quick because he said something that was super vital, and I think a lot of times people miss this. Is that you have a purpose beyond the person you're with, and a lot of times people think if they get in a relationship they'll find purpose. You still have a purpose to fulfill whether you're in a relationship or not, and what your relationship is supposed to do is multiply your purpose. It's just supposed to multiply it. My girlfriend has a purpose whether she's with me or not. I have a purpose whether I'm with Bree or not. But together, it's also called multiplication. And I think a lot of times when it comes to, I'm sorry, a lot of times when it comes up to this issue of just healthy, that's what a healthy relationship does. It multiplies, it grows you, it causes you to move forward in some ways that is very productive for your own personal growth. I'm shutting up because I could go on a whole tangent about that.
It's you too. You got something else to say, Dallas? Seem like you do.
Yeah, man. Save all the nuggets for the rest of us, man. Some of us have the same stuff, but we ain't said it yet because we're waiting our turn. And you just sitting up here, just taking up all the time, all the Twitter worthy quotes, and it's just like, God, no. Now everything I do is it's dope stuff though. It's super dope stuff. But I'm like, good Lord, now I can't say that. Now I gotta think of something else on the spot. So good dope stuff though, man. I'm just salty.
Love it, love it, love it. Hey, look, this is what it's all about. So, Cece, I want you to tell. I know, Cece, you're it kind of in the process of. You say your last relationship was high school. What does an ideal relationship look like to you?
That's a really good question, Lisa. The number one thing on my list, because I know I'm working on this myself, is his relationship with God. If I know that you are in that secret place every single day talking to him, you can hear from him. So that's kind of like a plus for me. I'm not really big on what he looks like and stuff like that, but God has always dealt with me concerning who, like my future spouse. He've always dealt with me about his heart, his character, who he hangs with, how he treats his family, how he treats his friends. That's just been a very big thing for me. And so it's like the scripture, man looks at the outward appearance, but God looks at the heart. I always try to find out, okay, what is his heart? What does his heart look like? What is his character? And if that doesn't line up with with the word and stuff, then I'm sorry, I can't do anything about that. I can't talk to you. I can't date you. I know for me, I haven't been in a relationship since high school, and I have had a few prospects here and there, but the one thing that I have worked on is my relationship with God. And because of that, I have seen, even though I've been rejected, multiple times, now I see it as God's protection, because I look back and I'm like, okay, God, I see why I couldn't be with him. I see why you didn't want me to talk to him. I see why this didn't happen. I see why he ignored me. I see why he didn't text me back. I see why he started talking to this other person when he was just talking to me not too long ago. I see now. But it's like, when I know who I am, when I know my worth, it's not that big of a deal, because I know that greater is coming. I just know that someone better is just right around the corner, and that's okay.
Dallas, speak to that for me. Say something. Say something to CC for me.
Finally, Lee didn't go first. But no, that honestly is something that is super respectable. Let me take this out of my mouth. This super respectable and something that you shouldn't lose, because it's crazy. It's awesome how God doesn't let us see the map to our success. Like, he doesn't let us see what he has planned for us. He wants us to go by faith and actually trust him. That's what makes our relationship with God so powerful and so, like, I don't know, just fulfilling, knowing that, you don't know what tomorrow brings, but with God, you're good. So with you and all the texting, for a second, you had me worried. I was like, was Cece the girl we were talking about earlier about, blown up? Did we just meet you and, we going to be married? No, I'm just kidding, but you're not like that. You're super solid. But I think that's super, like, I love that, because it's like, if you ain't about it, I ain't about it. And the way, especially treating your mom, like, one thing my mom engraved into me was like, you're going to treat your wife like how you treat your mom, how you and your sister. Well, not so much my sister, because me and my sister have that kind of relationship, but it's just like how you treat the women in your life is how you're going to treat your wife. And the way you're going right now, and honestly, some of the prospects like you've been around are duds. So I know God has saved you for somebody who was like Israel Houghton or some type of Travis Game shot taco. I feel that in the spirit. And I feel like he's coming. He's coming, caramel, brown eyes. I feel like he's coming for you. But honestly, I'm super excited for you, and that's super dope. And this is one of the reasons I love you. So,
Shawnee, what is your ideal relationship? What does that look like for you?
I'm actually with Cece. I'm really huge on your relationship with God. Where do you find your identity? Is it in what happened to you in the past? Is it your job? Is it your boss? Or is it God? Are you rooted and grounded in Him enough that you're actually going to be able to lead me as the man of God you're called to be? And that is something that I am very, very big on. I want to know the motive of your heart. Where are you going? Where do you see yourself in your relationship with God 5 years down the line is more important to me than where do you see yourself in 5 years in your career? Because your relationship with Him is the best. And I, like Cece, I've had prospects, but I'm not settling for less when I can settle for God's best.
Lee, speak to that for me.
Well, Shawnee, the powerful thing about what you said was you are clear about what you know that God has for you. And I think what's encouraging just to hear is that the person that God has for you will have the capacity for you. Because a lot of times when it comes down to relationships, we think the reason why, you've been meeting people that don't have the capacity for you. So, Shawnee, I'm excited for the person that you're growing to be and becoming, and the person that God has for you will have the capacity to help you flourish and grow. Because it goes back to that purpose thing. You have a purpose to fulfill, and if he's blocking your purpose, there's a problem. That boy is going to ensure that you fulfill everything that God is putting you to do, and ensure that, and he's not going to be intimidated by your gifts and talents, because he recognizes that it's God that gave it to you and not him. And so I just want to encourage you to keep pursuing God, keep pursuing what you're supposed to be and supposed to be doing, so that the person who identifies you and sees you knows what he's looking for. And another thing to that point is, I made this point to Alcina, I think last week, is the reality is, the thing about men is we're looking for our rib. We understand the story about Adam, is that God put Adam to sleep and he took something from him, and the thing he took from him, he identified it when he saw Eve, and he said, oh, that's good for me. That dude who knows who he is in God is going to, and has identified his identity in Christ, he's going to see him like, yep, that's the rib. That's it. And he will know how to respond and how to cover you in order for you to fulfill everything that God has for you. So I'm excited for you. Let's go. Do the thing, Sonny.
I love it. I love it. I look. I'm trying to keep it together. Y'all are awesome. I commend you guys for just like really pouring, because I feel like it's essential. I mentioned it earlier. A lot of times women see themselves as kind of in a state of punishment because they haven't gotten into a relationship. And I wanted you men to speak to these women to give them encouragement. So I really appreciate y'all doing that. Wasn't really how I planned it, but I just felt like that was something that we needed to do right there. All right, I'm about to jump into it. Y'all ready? We got like 7 minutes left. You ready to jump in? I'm ready to jump in. Romance. Romance. So in today's day and age, I mean, you watch TV, you watch YouTube, you watch all kinds of different things. You got Tinder, you got, it's a lot, where you're meeting up and you having one night stands, and it's a lot going on. Even Christian Mingle and eHarmony and all these different websites, something about a fish, plenty of fish and something, Bumble, You got all of these different social media sites, slide into people's DMs, all this other stuff for like some these encounters. And it's almost kind of like there is a thought that I need to meet a physical need, but I really don't need to engage. Or I want to see how far I can get with you. And if I realize that I can't get that far, I'm going to back up. All right, Dallas, you got the floor.
You know what? I'm actually humble. I got convicted earlier because it was jealousy. This isn't about me. If Lee wants to take what I got to say, it's just compliment to me. So, I'm just kidding. Nah, Lee's super dope, man. I love listening to him, man. But honestly, I mean, that's how it is. If it's not like intentional, then it's an itch that needs to be scratched. Be like either you're hitting somebody up just to, I don't know what I can say on this show, but I'll say this, it's a Marvel reference, to fondue, just but most of the time, sometimes it is intentional. Like some people's love language is the thing that I think messes up most relationships, especially in our day and age, is that we put ourselves in certain situations that we know our flesh just, it just gets to a certain point and we base our relationship off the physical. And then by the time we already dived into that, it's like, well, now I got to get to know you. And like, you may not even like their personality, but it's just that itch that gets scratched. And then that relationship loses its value. And then you kind of feel like I'm not walking in when I'm supposed to. I'm distracted because at the drop of a hat, if she hits you up and is like, hey, my roommate's gone and I don't think she'll be back until like midnight, whatever you're doing, playing 2K, rehearsal, you in church, you're at work, and you'll be like, hey, brother, I got to dip, dog. And it's just like, and God may be like, I wanted time with you, but since you wanted to scratch that itch, I didn't get to have my time. And then all of a sudden you end up, maybe having a kid or maybe just tied into this relationship because it's a soul tie because of what you started with instead of like what you should have started with. That's just my 2 cents, but I'm sure Lee will say something better than me and, end up trending and, have me over here salty. So.
All right, Lee. Come on, man.
Nothing. First of all, nothing I'm about to say is trending. I'm just about to say everything Dallas said was on money. Like, everything Dallas said was on the money. And I don't think there's very much I actually need to say because he explained some real stuff. Like people, and the sad part is just to add to what he said is it shows you the emptiness that a lot of people have. People are so empty, so they'll just do whatever can scratch that itch because they're so empty and they don't know who they are and they don't know their value. And so the question about romance, I'm trying to figure out how do I even explain this in a healthy and productive way. So I'm going to shut up and let the ladies talk because my God, Dallas just, yeah, he set the bar high.
Shawnee?
I'm actually with Dallas on it. Like, I think you are what you attract. So if you are like attracting the physical need, then the devil is going to bring that physical need to you. But if you need, love, that's what he's going to give you, because it's not going to be love, but it's going to be in the form of love. It's going to be a lie to you. And because you're deceived and you don't know who you are in Christ and you don't have your fulfillment in him, then you're not going to know what you need in reality. Your identity is in the wrong area.
Woo! 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 CC, bring it home.
I don't know what to say after all of that. Yeah, I know personally, I've been on a few of those little online dating apps and like that, but only for like what Denisha says, 2.5 seconds. because it just doesn't work for me. It is like it. I mean, people do find, their mates on there, so I'm not going to downplay that part. But for the majority, it really is a superficial thing. And you really are, you're just, you're swiping right, swiping left, up, down, whatever. I know I sound old when I say that, but it really is a superficial thing. All you're looking at is like I said, the outward appearance. That's all you're looking for. When I was on there, I got away from what God told me about, look at the heart. And I'm like, no, God, because I'm getting impatient. So I'm just looking at the outward appearance and stuff. I don't care what his background is and all this and all of that, and it, like, the romance issue, it's superficial, it's very worldly, and that's all I have to say, because everybody else is really good, but that's my 2 cents.
Oh man, you know what? We're out of time. This conversation is so good, isn't it? Oh my gosh. So look, I'm gonna ask you 2 seconds, or not 2 seconds, because it's non-realistic. 15 seconds. Just speak your heart, just to the audience. Just speak your heart. Share what you think about relationships to the audience, and whatever is on your heart about this panel. All right, Shawnee, we're gonna start with you.
I would say follow your heart. Push your feelings aside as much as possible and seek God about whatever relationship you're in.
CC.
Yeah, seek God, but also ultimately build up that relationship with God first. And I know for a fact he will lead you to that right person.
Dallas.
Right before Lee, I see how it is. But no, it's all good. No, build you up first. Know that no matter what happens, God's got you. Even though, on your way home, you walk past rocks every day. The thing about it is how you're going to walk around it. And stay on the path and know who you are and stay confident in who you are. Here you go, Lee. Take us away, man.
Oh, I'm so done, Dallas. Uh, I agree. Well, first of all, thank you, Mr. Egan, for having this panel. Like, this is awesome and amazing. I've learned so much, and I've been so encouraged by everything that everyone has to say. And I just would like to add that along with walking with God and following the Lord, one of the things that we also have to learn how to do is realize that relationships are a journey. Relationships are a journey. It's a marathon and not a sprint. You have to run the different leg of the race, because it's going to always change. You got to be willing to do that. And besides, that person be a follower of Christ and loving the Lord. Think about compatibility. Think about your purpose. Think about what you want, the future you type of, because all of those things play factors into how you should approach relationships. Because there are people that are saved and love Jesus who are divorced and said they were led by the Spirit to be in relationships, but they didn't deal with all that other aspects of their heart and their lives. And so they thought, well, Jesus was just going to be the only way that's going to help me in this relationship. And like, Jesus is the only way, but he can't fix something that you're unwilling to deal with for yourself and you don't allow him in. And so it's realizing all these aspects, knowing your purpose, understanding your relationship with God, thinking about compatibility. All those things matter. And I think that that's important for a relationship. So that's all I have to say. And Dallas, you are amazing.
Look, I'm so grateful that we had these panelists on today. Next week, we're going to be talking to the people that are over 40 and what relationships look like for them. Thank you guys so much for being on. Totally appreciate you. Until next time, we'll see you then. Bye.